Nilo Premadana Hino Prabhu Kota Gila Acharya Thakur Prabhu Kohamora Svaruprupa Kahasanata Kahamora Svaruprupa Sanata Kadasa Ragunata Patita Pavan Kadas Patita Pavan Kahamura Bhatta Juga Kaha Kavira Ekakali Kotagila Koranatara Pashani Kutibo Mata Anale Pashibo Tibo Mata Anale Pashibo Gauranga Gunira Niti Kotagela Papo Gagunira Niti Kotagele Papo Se Samba Sangira Sangi Jekailo Bila Gira Sangi Jekailo Bila Se Sangana Paya Kande Narotamada Danke Sangana Paya Kande Narotamada Jayanilo Premadana Karuna Prachu Eno Prabhu Kota Gele Acharya Thakur Prabhu Kota Gela Acharya Thakur Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajadana Ranjana Yamunati Ravanamchari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya 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 Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda So, welcher, was steht dort? Matja 22, 110. Danke. Versteht jeder Englisch? Okay, dort übersetzt. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Bhagavan Haryadishvara. Bhagavan Haryadishvara. Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Smartavyaschichatabhayam. Smartavyaschichatabhayam. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Bhagavan Haryadishvara. Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Smartavyaschichatabhayam. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Bhagavan Haryadishvara. Shrotavya Kirtitavyascha. Smartavyaschichatabhayam. Ja, bitte. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma. Bhagavan Yarishvara. Shrotavya kirtitavyascha smartavyaschittatabayam. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Haryadishvara Shrotavya kirtitavyascha Vyaschittatabayam. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Haryadishvara Matajis. Kirtitavyascha smartavyaschittatabayam. Tasmat, therefore, Bharata, O descendant of Bharata, Sarva Atma, the all-pervasive Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart. Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hari, Lord Hari, who takes away all the miserable conditions of material existence. Wow. Ishvara, the Supreme Controller. Shrotavya, to be heard about from bona fide sources. Kirtitavya, to be glorified as one has heard. Cha, also. Smartavya, to be remembered. Cha, and. Ichata, by a person desiring. Abhayam, freedom from the fearful condition of material existence. Translation. O descendant of Bharata, O Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, who is the Supreme Controller, and who always removes the miseries of the living entities, must always be heard about from reliable sources, and he must be glorified and remembered by one who wishes to become fearless. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad-Bhagavatam 2.1.5. It is one's duty to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the hearing process. This is called Shrotavya. If one has heard properly about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his duty is to glorify the Lord and preach his glories. This is called Kirtitavya. When one hears about the Lord and glorifies him, it is natural to think of him. This is called Smartavya. All this must be carried out if one actually wants to be immune from fear. Tasmat Bharata Sarvatma Bhagavan Haryadishvara Shrotavya Kirtitavyashta Smartavyaschittatabayam. O descendant of Bharata, O Maharaj Parikshit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart as Paramatma, who is the Supreme Controller, and who always removes the miseries of the living entities, must always be heard about from reliable sources, and he must be glorified and remembered by one who wishes to become fearless. This beautiful verse, famous verse, was completely embodied by Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada made it his life's mission to fulfill the order of his spiritual master, to preach the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English-speaking countries. Srila Prabhupada met his spiritual master at the age of 24. And Srila Prabhupada hesitated when the friend told him, "Oh, there's a very nice sadhu here. Let's go and visit him." Srila Prabhupada had seen so many sadhus. In India, it's a profession to be a sadhu. Put on saffron cloth, walk around, have your begging bowl, and get it filled up at noontime and morning and evening. And Srila Prabhupada's father, he was very strictly following the Vedic rules that a householder before every meal should go out on the street and call, "Is there anybody hungry? Please come and take prasad." And so many sadhus had come to the house of his father, and Prabhupada had seen these professional beggars. He was not impressed by so-called sadhus. When his friend told him about this sadhu, "Well, I saw so many sadhus already, I'm not really interested." But his friend insisted, "This one is very special." And they came, went up to the roof where Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj had his sangha. And as well-educated, well-behaved young men, they offered their obeisances as soon as they see a sannyasi. When they came up from offering the obeisance, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj immediately said, "You are educated young men. Why don't you preach the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English-speaking countries?" And this first instruction hit Srila Prabhupada in the heart. And he was immediately impressed and convinced that this person is the right person to spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. Later, Srila Prabhupada wrote his spiritual master, "I'm a householder, and all your other disciples, sannyasis, brahmacharis, they're doing so much valuable work. I don't know what I can do, which service can I render to you to please you." And again, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj wrote him, "Whenever you get money, print books and spread the message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the English-speaking countries." A few weeks later, Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj departed. In the first lecture that Srila Prabhupada gave on the disappearance of his spiritual master, he told the disciples, they were not very, well, I don't know, sorry, don't speculate. Srila Prabhupada told them this nice, he said, "I heard a very nice story the other day. I would like to tell you." And he said, the sadhu came to a king's court, and there he met the prince. And he blessed all the persons present. To the prince, he said, "Rajaputra Mamara. O prince, don't die." There was also a brahmachari, strict brahmachari. He blessed the brahmachari, saying, "Muniputra Mahajiva." There was a butcher. He told the butcher, "Majiva Mamara." And there was a sadhu, and he blessed the sadhu, saying, "Jiva va maro va." First blessing, Muniputra Mamara, prince, don't die. Prabhupada explained, because prince, he has all the luxuries, he has all the money, and he has all the facilities for sense enjoyment, so he engages in sense enjoyment like anything, enjoying life. But because that's a sinful life, after he leaves the body, he will go to a destination which is not so pleasant. Maybe he will, Prabhupada said, Prabhupada mentioned, if one is sexually very active, maybe you get a body in which you can have sex 3 times an hour. The sparrows, the sparrows and doves are the birds. They are sexually very strong. So next life, maybe he will get a body like this. So just go on living. As long as you're living, enjoy life. And there was a brahmachari. Prabhupada explains this brahmachari is living a very strict, very renounced life, following strictly the orders of the spiritual master, living very strict, very renounced, no fun. Life is seems to be no fun. But after this life, the brahmachari will go to the spiritual world. So why should he waste his life here on this earth, on this planet? Muniputra ma jiva. Oh brahmachari, don't live, just leave. And the butcher, ma jiva ma mara. You don't live and you don't die. Prabhupada said this butcher has a horrible life. A whole day he is killing animals, seeing the blood and the ghastly strain, and such a horrible, ugly life. And after death, he will go to a destination that is even much more hellish, much more abominable. So don't live and don't die. And the sadhu, Jivo va maro va, either you live or you die. It's all the same. For the sadhu, he serves Krishna while he is living in this world. And after he leaves this world, he will go on serving Krishna. Like Kadambakana Maharaj once said, death is just a change of service. You leave this service and go to another service. Go somewhere else to do something else, to do some other service. Main thing, service. Also, there's this beautiful poem by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He reasons ill who says that Vaishnavas die when they are living still in sound. Vaishnavas die to live, and living try to spread the holy name around. He reasons ill. You commit a mistake when you think that a Vaishnava dies when he's still present in sound. Prabhupada said, I will live forever in my books. Never before was a great, spiritually so empowered person, was his presence so in such a way recorded like that of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada made it his life mission to print the books, to translate the books, write the books under the dictation of Krishna. Prabhupada liked to read his own books. In the evening, devotees were reading Krishna book to him, and Prabhupada, he was very much fascinated, and he was laughing, and he was enjoying this very much. One time a devotee asked him, Prabhupada, you're enjoying the books so much, but you wrote them. Prabhupada said, actually, the books, I didn't write the books. They were, Krishna dictated these books to me. Prabhupada's books are dictated by Krishna, the law books for the coming 10,000 years of golden age in Kali Yuga. And so many lectures of Srila Prabhupada, not all of them unfortunately, but so many lectures and so many room conversations and dictations of Krishna book quoting, chanting the Bhagavad Gita verses, the Sanskrit. So many recordings are there of that, but Srila Prabhupada told us what he was speaking. We hear Srila Prabhupada's melodious, beautiful voice. When I do the puja at home, Srila Puja, Krishna Balaram, I listen to Prabhupada's lectures. And Prabhupada has such a subtle humor. Often one has to laugh when one's listening to Prabhupada's lectures. He is making, with a few words, he kills the opposing arguments. Was heißt lächerlich auf Englisch? Ridicule. Und das Subjekt? That is too ridicule, but this... Huh? What do you want to say? Lächerlichkeit tötet, sagt man im Deutschen. To ridicule somebody means to kill him. If you ridicule some opposing arguments, and Srila Prabhupada was very good in this. With just a few words, he took the whole thing apart and showed how ridiculous those persons were who were opposing Vaishnavism, God, faith in God at all. And Prabhupada gave such wonderful classes. We can listen to them. We have the great fortune. Srila Prabhupada is living still in sound. And Vaishnava dies to live. Srila Prabhupada, when he wanted to leave this world, to leave the body, he told his disciple that he would stop drinking. And he said that his father, Gurmohan, he also had left his body in that way. It's also an Ayurvedic process. If you don't eat, you can go on living for quite some time. But if you don't drink, soon you will leave the body. And Srila Prabhupada, it is said, if you see that there's no hope for this body anymore, you might as well leave it. Just stop drinking, and you can leave. And after a short time, you can leave the body. Srila Prabhupada also did this. He told his disciples to instill this desire in them, to awaken the desire to keep his association. And at one point, Srila Prabhupada asked his disciples, actually, Krishna has given me free choice. I can either go or stay. What do you, and I'm asking you, the GBC, what do you decide? And, Prabhupada, we will talk about it when outside. And some said, well, here Prabhupada is such in condition, maybe it's better if he leaves. But others said, what? Of course not, he wants Prabhupada to stay. And somebody said, but it's not, the whole GBC body is not here. Come on! Who doesn't want Prabhupada to stay? And they went back to Prabhupada and they said, oh, Srila Prabhupada, we would like you to stay. Please stay with us and go on leading us. And there was also Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, a god brother of Srila Prabhupada, who had a very close, affectionate, loving friendship with Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada said to him, just see how they are loving me. Once a devotee, Tama Krishna Maharaj, he said, oh, Srila Prabhupada, you are, how is it? Huh? You're driving us crazy with love for you. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, that is my duty. That's his duty, to awaken the love of his disciples for him. If one develops love for the spiritual master, that's just as good as developing love for Krishna. This verse, Jivi Sakshat Nahi Dhyati Guru Chaitya Rupi Shiksha Guru Hoy Krishna Mahanta Swarupi. Because the conditioned soul is not able to see Krishna with his material senses, the super soul appears before us as the spiritual master. Such a liberated soul is for sure nobody else than Krishna himself. When we serve the spiritual master, when we develop attachment, when we develop love for him, that is just as developing love for Krishna. Nikunja Yuno Rati Kelisita. The spiritual master is a very close associate of Krishna. I never spoke about this before. There was, when we were in Vrindavan last time, there was a sannyasi, I don't remember the name. He is the one who edited and published all the videos of Srila Prabhupada on a USB stick. And he gave a wonderful class in Vrindavan. I don't remember the name, very nice, impressive, very nice sannyasi. And he spoke in his class, several times he quoted this first verse of Gopi Gita, Tavakatam ritam tapta jivanam kavibirditam kramashapaham. The gopis, after Krishna left, the gopis went to the shore of the Yamuna, and they spoke about Krishna, and they expressed their feelings of separation. And this first verse is very famous. When I was in Bhakta program, the Bhakta leader, it was Prabhu at that time, he gave us a list of Sankirtan verses, Tabhyanta Lokitabhina and others, and also this one, Tavakatam Nitam, O my Lord, the glories of narrations of your pastimes are spread all over the world by great personalities. And those who are, and those who are always sad or morose in this material world, they are able to accept them. Der Nektar deiner Tatenspiele wird von großen Persönlichkeiten auf der ganzen Welt verbreitet. Und sie werden von denjenigen angenommen, die in dieser materiellen Welt stets bekümmert sind. No? And Maharaj, the sannyasi Maharaj, he spoke about this verse. And he said, actually, these the gopis, they were talking about this spreading of the past, of the narrations of Krishna's pastimes all over the world. And one of them came as Srila Prabhupada. It's also hinted at in this verse, Nikunjayi. Srila Prabhupada is a very close associate of Krishna, a very close associate. When we worship, when we serve him, develop attachment to him, then it is just as good as developing attachment to Krishna. Sorry. Yeah, I've one quote. On his Guru Maharaj's disappearance day, Srila Prabhupada said, on the absolute platform, there is no difference between the appearance and the disappearance of the spiritual master. Both are beautiful, just like the sunrise and the sunset. Of course, the disciple is very sad when the spiritual master leaves. But at the same time, the disciples turned it into a festive occasion because the spiritual master, he went to again join the pastimes of Krishna. He went back to the spiritual world. Once Srila Prabhupada said that he did not really, Krishna asked him to go to the material world and write the books. And Prabhupada was not so eager. Oh, really? Do I have to? I don't know. I don't really. Something like this, Prabhupada said. But Krishna assured him, don't worry, I will take care of everything. Please go to the material world. Please go to the earth planet and write and spread your books. So, and Srila Prabhupada, when the spiritual master goes back to the spiritual world, it is also wonderful, just like the sunset, which is very beautiful, just as beautiful as the sunrise. When the spiritual master leaves, it is said the disciples, he should be very sad. He's like a wife whose husband left. He should be, naturally, we are very sad, but also we know. Kadambakana Maharaj, he said, I will leave you and I will be waiting for you in the spiritual world. So the spiritual master, he is waiting for us in the spiritual world. We should become very eager to follow him, to follow in his footsteps, to follow him, to again have his association. Maybe in this world we didn't have much association of the spiritual master. In South America, there are so many disciples of Srila Prabhupada who never saw him. I only saw Prabhupada once, France, 76, got initiation. Many other with many other devotees, but what's the name of this devotee who wrote the book? What's the difficulty? Shutakirti Prabhu. He once said he got the realization that not only the few disciples who are traveling with Prabhupada, who are cooking for him, giving him a massage, taking his dictations, writing, typing out the letters, not just they are personal servants. He said all the devotees are personal servants of Srila Prabhupada. We are all personal servants of Srila Prabhupada. We all we're trying to dedicate our life, trying to give our life to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada once said, he will spend millions of lives, eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Just give this one life to Krishna. And this life is very short. Decades flow away like anything. This year, soon it's over. Christmas marathon is nearing. Soon, this morning it was freezing like anything. Soon it's November, then it's December, Christmas, then January, then February, then March. The trees again develop leaves, and summer, bathing, then autumn, fall, then winter, then spring, summer. Year after year passes quickly, flowing. Tempus fugit, time flows away like a river. It just flows away. This life is so short. My body is 74 years old. When I look back, it seems like, okay, my memory is not so good anymore. But when you look back, it appears like a few weeks. The time passes so fast. And when we waste our life with material activities only concerned with our material self, then we waste this life. In the introduction to Gita, Prabhupada writes, without Krishna consciousness, the life is spoiled. Ohne Krishna-Bewusstsein ist das Leben verdorben. Habe ich damals gelesen in der alten Edition, in der alten Ausgabe. Without Krishna consciousness, this life is spoiled. It's useless. Just like living just like animals. Aha, nidra, bhaya, maitun. The animals and human beings have these things in common. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Today's society is only engaged in these things. Hardly anyone cares about to find out the reason for life, why we are living, where we come from, where do we go to. Hardly anybody is interested in this. Everybody is only on the material platform, wasting the life away. And we should be serious. Here Prabhupada writes, it's a duty to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And later on, and when one heard properly, it's the duty to glorify the Lord. In one Gita, Prabhupada writes, jedes Lebewesen hat die Pflicht, sich Krishna hinzugeben. Every living entity, it's the duty of every living entity to surrender to Krishna. Spirit, soul wrapped up in a material body, it's our duty. Every living being has the duty to surrender to Krishna. Why is our duty? We're not soldiers or something. Because we are parts and parcels of Krishna, and we fell into this material world because of our mistake, misusing our independence. Because of that, we have the duty to go back to Krishna, because Krishna is waiting for us like a loving father is waiting for his child who left home out of illusion. It's our duty to take up this process and to make the mission of Srila Prabhupada our mission as good as we can, as far as we can. We have the duty. No? We try not to waste our lives. No? Trying to follow the example. Acharya means the one who gives the example. Follow Srila Prabhupada's example. No, we try to do this as good as possible. Yeah, I made some notes yesterday. I was told to give the class today. Once I had a nice dream about Srila Prabhupada. I read a book by Tamal Krishna Maharaj, his disciples, and somebody asked him, "Oh Maharaj, do you ever dream of Prabhupada?" And Tamal Krishna answered, "There's not one night that I do not dream of Srila Prabhupada." He also left already to join Prabhupada. When the first Murti of Srila Prabhupada was worshipped, that was in Switzerland after Rath Yatra. The Murti of Prabhupada was sitting there on an asan on the stage. When sannyasi, he was giving a class. The Murti was there. Nobody served him. And I had just learned how to handle the chamara. So I was very proud of that. I went up to this, I climbed onto the stage, took the chamara lying there, and started to fan Srila Prabhupada with this chamara. Later on, somebody else came. And that night in the Sankirtan van, sleeping in the Sankirtan van with Bharata, my old guide, I had a dream. We had always been praying to Krishna, "Krishna, please make Srila Prabhupada healthy again, because he did not finish his mission. When Prabhupada was so ill in 1977, we were praying like this. And Prabhupada was very sick, and in the dream I was standing at the end of one, it looked like a hospital bed. I was standing there and looking, didn't know. And then Srila Prabhupada, he came up in this bed, and he was sitting there, smiling very beautifully at me. And then in the morning I told my friend Bharata, who also left this world already, I told him about the dream. And Srila Prabhupada showed that he is still present. He rose from his Krankenbett, from his hospital bed. He rose and he was present. He was still there, and he is. She also once I had a dream about this Murti of Srila Prabhupada. I was there in this corner of the balcony, and I wanted to put a garland. Some reason I wanted to put a garland on Srila Prabhupada's head of the Murti, and then Srila Prabhupada turned his head towards me, so that I could put the garland on his head. And yes, the Murti is non different from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said this several times. We still have his association. We can have his association. Once a disciple asked Prabhupada, "Will you be present in my heart?" And Srila Prabhupada said, "Yes, I'll be present in your heart if you allow me to." Prabhupada wants to be present in our heart. We have to allow him. We have to be ready and accept Srila Prabhupada's guidance. So, is there any question or any? Okay. Srila Prabhupada's Tirobhava Mahamotsava Ki Jai. Verstehe nicht. Die eine Augenbraue ist ein bisschen höher. Das rechte Augenbraue ist ein bisschen höher.